right, well, welcome to another episode of the Football Friends podcast. I think we're up to
I want to say number 4.
fourth one by
Well,
now.
welcome back by now.
Yeah. Well, it's good. A lot of things have happened over the week. We've had the conclusion of the group stage.
Yep.
And, so we'll just kind of run through some of those games and our thoughts on those.
Yeah, that'd be no problem. It's always good to see sort of how wrong or how right your predictions have gone since the start of the tournament, and be interesting to see how our predictions might even be shaping up thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, we'll get started. First on this list here is just talking about Italy. I suppose there's not too much to say on this one. We're sort of a team we've both kind of favoured since the start. They look pretty dominant, and they had a kind of easy group. And yeah, they look great. So we'll just have to see what happens with them.
Yeah, Italy. I don't think there's anything new that we can really say about them since the second game.
Yeah, they look hot. So
yeah,
yeah.
7 goals, 9 points, none conceded.
Yeah, and then now, so they've drawn Austria in the next round, which is a little bit more of a test, but I still think they're the clear favourite in that one.
Maybe if you drop Austria into that Group A, Italy wouldn't notice, and maybe the added jeopardy of it being a knockout game will make it a little tougher, or maybe it'll make Austria crumble like Hansel and Gretel's little muffin cake.
Sure. Yeah, well, I'm thinking Italy to win that one.
Absolutely.
I suppose the only question is do you play Locatelli or Verratti?
If Verratti is fit, then this is the wealth of talent that Italy have, where they can sort of be blooding someone back into the team in a round of 16 game, like an important game. And that's probably what I would do. Probably start with Locatelli and give Verratti 30 minutes at least.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Yeah, because Locatelli's been awesome, you got to keep.
There's no one really in Italy you can drop. Not really. Maybe play around with the fullbacks, but they've done their jobs admirably also. So, Italy as a team, I don't expect any sort of surprise lineups from. But I do expect them to win.
Yeah, so they could go pretty far. So don't really need to say too much more than that. Yeah. All right, so we'll move on. Next on our list is talking about Denmark and the result of their group.
Now that's one that feels quite good, doesn't it? After obviously Eriksen's medical mishap, and then they lost the second game as well. You kind of ordinarily with a 16 team tournament, it's over. It's all over, and they are not going through. And I know they qualified second, but without the hope of coming third, maybe they don't play so positively.
Yeah, well, on the last day, it was a crazy turn of events, really. Like, with them all ending on the same points, and it's...
Yeah.
And then, and Denmark, what do they win? 4-1?
4-1.
Yeah, so that was a good solid win, and they really needed that goal difference, actually.
Yeah, needed the goal difference to separate themselves, because now the 3 teams on 3 points basically go into a little mini league of their own, where they all beat each other. So who scores the most goals in that situation is really, really important. And Denmark, they crushed it.
Yeah, playing for Christian Eriksen, man, doing him proud. So that's what I want to see.
On the One Football app, shout out, that I was watching the game update on, it made a note that the Belgian fans cheered when they got news that... Sorry, the Denmark fans cheered when Belgium had scored. And then 1 minute later, Christiansen scored for Belgium. for Denmark. Goodness me.
Mm.
So they got to cheer twice on the same corner, which beautiful stuff.
Mm.
Once they figured out what nationality they were, of course.
Yeah. And so in that case, too, Finland actually gets through as well. So that's interesting.
Oh,
Well, like, oh no, are they just below that?
I think Finland were in fact below. Yeah. So Finland were one of the third place teams
That didn't quite make
that did not qualify.
Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah. Well, there we go. So Denmark really stepped up when they needed to and made it through the group. That's good. I hope they actually go far. I hope. Yeah. Well, so they've drawn Wales in the next round, and that's another team that have been playing quite well. Sort of Wales, like you said earlier, Wales is more of the dark horse of this
Yeah. Well,
tournament.
yeah. What I did say is it's funny that a lot of people, in the media and in sort of grassroots, picked Turkey as this team that might pull up roots, and in the end they were shocking.
Mm.
And in the same group, we've got Wales,
Yeah.
who, they're not France, they're not Germany, but they've been good.
Very good.
They've got young Danny Ward in goal, who's been very impressive, and only conceded one against an extremely strong Italy, who, to be fair, winding down, but okay.
Yeah.
1-0 is 1-0,
Well,
even if you lose.
Speaking of when they played Italy, there was the other day I saw this rather random article that surprised me, and it was like Chiellini was raving about how good Dan James is. He said he was thoroughly impressed with his tenacity. That kind of thing. He loves his attitude, and I was like, these are two footballers I never expected to be written in the same sentence, but
yeah.
that was kind of cool. But it just kind of shows that Dan James has been developing as a player too. So
Yeah.
he's been playing a good part of this tournament team already.
Yeah. And after they did what they did in 2016, they pressed on into the semi-finals, and it's inside their bracket they've got the Netherlands. That's who they'll play next if they win, or the Czech Republic.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. When they win.
Well, possibly. That's exactly what I'm saying. If Turkey were put in their position right now, there's no way they're beating Denmark. Not a chance.
Yeah, no way.
So certainly a shout out for Wales and a shout out for Denmark.
Well, that's it. Hopefully it'll be a good match then. It seemed pretty evenly matched, really.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking for. They're going to have to both go for it, which just makes it extremely enjoyable for the neutral.
Yeah, definitely. Anything else you want to say on that one?
No, I think I'm good.
Yeah, we've still covered all that. So we might as well move on to talk about Netherlands now. Very happy with what I'm seeing. Of course, at the start I was quite skeptical. Just burned from not qualifying for previous tournaments and things like that. Things were a bit of a shambles for a while. Lacked a number 9 as well, which was kind of, I don't know, was causing problems. But now they seem to have settled on Weghorst, and that seems to be working out quite well.
Well, it seems that they've gone for. Because would you say Depay is playing as a striker?
Yeah.
Because
kind of.
Because he is.
He's one of those weird players that's
It's like when England
kind of
went
a winger,
with Sterling.
kind of a striker, kind of cam, kind of whatever.
He's, in my mind, he's a striker in this team.
Yeah. So there's playing like a 5-3-2. It's sort of described.
I love it.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems to work. And then obviously you've got Dumfries coming, storming down the wings and causing trouble. And
yeah, if you've got a right wing back scoring a couple of goals in the group stage, mate, let's go.
Yeah.
The Netherlands look positive. They look, organised, well drilled, and for the most part, there's not a weak. Is there a weak link on the pitch? Maybe question marks over Stekelenburg, but that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, centre backs aren't the quickest. Kind
No.
of thing. But midfield's pretty damn good. And
Okay, who's your starting three in the centre backs? Is it De Vries?
yeah, I'd sort of say De Vrij, Blind, and Dillett.
Nothing like okay, not like you say, not the paciest,
Mm.
but it's good. It's very, very above average.
I suppose so. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Well, it's just because at first we didn't have Dillett. He was injured or whatever, and then it was like Timber or
Great. Again, one of the tournament's best names.
yeah. But either way, yeah, when everyone's fit, that seems to be pretty good, I guess. And then team looks good. Wijnaldum in this seems to be lapping up this captaincy role. Like he just seems to be even more inspired by that, and he is leading the charge in that team big time.
He's a dude who's, you know, when some players go on a run of form and it seems to last about 8 games. He's having a run of form where it seems to last 88. He just doesn't. He doesn't give up. He's, and putting more responsibility on him makes him play better.
Yeah, I agree. And that's exactly what that's what a true captain is, I guess.
Yeah,
totally.
totally.
Like that. And then he's got Frankie De Jong right next to him too, just providing some of the creamiest, smoothest passing I've seen.
Oh,
just,
goodness.
Love it.
He makes it look so wonderful. And who's on the left?
Left wing.
Left mid.
Or like left wing back.
Yeah, wing back.
Well, it's guy from Crystal Palace.
Oh, Van Aanholt.
Van Aanholt, yeah.
Again, a worthy player.
Well, again, someone who's looked actually pretty good, and he is a free agent at the moment too. So I think teams from the Premier League have been looking to pick him up.
Damn right.
Might as well, yeah.
How can you lose from a guy who's basically played? I mean, look, let's not make any mistakes here. Crystal Palace are Crystal Palace. They're not a top 10 team. They're a relegation survival team. And
well, exactly, right? So that's a team where he's definitely been doing a lot of defending.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So he's good at his job.
Yeah.
By now.
Hopefully, yeah. Either way, yeah, a lot. I was a bit skeptical at the start, but pretty happy with the squad now. Things are looking pretty good. We've of course drawn the Czech Republic, which I suppose that's probably a bit of a gift. Not that I completely underrate them, but we're a clear favourite, and hopefully we can just sort of put them down and carry on.
It's about as much of a gimme as a round of 16 game in the quarters can really get. I know the Czechs beat Scotland pretty well, but then they're not going to break the Dutch apart. The Dutch are more sort of lethal than England, and England didn't really seem to get out of second gear. So as far as the I know that's not exactly how football works, but I don't see the Czech Republic having more in the tank to beat a team who's probably better than England.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. You got to realise that some of the other teams are filled with highly top-tier professional players who are probably, if anything, a lot fitter than some of the players playing for like Czech Republic. Now that they've played 3 games, it may just be, they're versing a team that's probably going to feel completely fresh, whereas they might not.
Yeah, I definitely see the Dutch going through, and of course, if that happens, they'll meet either Wales or Denmark, which you'd probably also say is a bit of a gift.
Like that's a good start. I'm gonna have
any top or any team says you've got to play Wales or Denmark in a quarterfinal, even if North Macedonia somehow make it there and they say you got to play Wales or Denmark, they'll take that. They'll bite
Yeah.
your hand off.
That's probably about as good as it's going to get.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, stoked. Yep. So we'll see what happens there. I suppose now we can move on to your boys.
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay, so obviously I started very positive with the Croatia game. I got a bit down in the dumps about the Scotland game, and this one, I'm kind of half and half, because the first half, literally, of the game was we were good, we were positive, we moved the ball, well, certainly quicker than the last couple of games. The fullbacks pushed forward. We got to see some of the players that we were screaming out for. We got to see some of Grealish, and he gave a wonderful assist. But it still just feels familiar, and it feels like, when you see a team and it's like they coast sort of, but they look a bit average, win a 1-0 against a team they should probably be beating by 3, and then find themselves not able, because they've not been tested properly, to get out of second gear.
For sure. Like, I mean, you guys have only scored 2 goals in one of the easier groups.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't mean you guys can't switch it on in the next round. But I know what you mean. They still look kind of like flat, not quite. They're not looking as impressive as some of the other teams.
Yeah. It's like, it was good. I just don't want to see that. Like, if we score early in the knockout game, I don't want us to sit back, but I know that's what we're going to do. We're going to score early, and then sit back, absolutely ride our luck, and then concede in the 70-something minute, take it to extra time, and then lose in extra time.
Could definitely happen.
That's okay. If anyone wants an official prediction, that was it. We've been hearing a lot about how Germany is the weakest Germany have been in a number of tournaments, and that may be true. Like,
I guess so.
Maybe on like man for man, maybe on the fact they don't really have a number 9, but
I don't know.
Bro,
they seem to be doing all right.
They put 4 past Portugal, two of them, and then the Hungary game against Germany gives me hope, but England don't play like that. We don't come out of the blocks. We don't scream in counter-attacks. That's just not how England play.
Yeah, I think Germany are going to be a lot to deal with. I don't know how you guys are going to cope. Like,
it is a game that I feel a lot more, how are we going to say it? I feel like we can win.
Really?
I know I've just told you that I don't think we will, but I think that we can.
Sure.
And 11 years ago, I didn't.
You literally have a 50% chance.
Oh, that's not how logic works.
Hey, it can only be one or the other. That's 50% probability.
Yeah, okay. Will the sky fall tomorrow? 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, either yes or no.
But I know what you mean. I still think Germany look really good. Even though, I don't know, people just... they're in the group of death. Someone has to lose.
It's true. It's true. I'm not convinced by them, but I'm more not convinced by England. And if I'm honest, I would have rather had Portugal.
Oh.
I think we would have been better against Portugal.
Maybe.
Still possibly would have lost, but I would have been more positive about a game against Portugal.
I don't know.
But we'll see.
I just don't see that England's favourite either way.
I don't think. No, I don't. Only in the English media can England be favourites in a game like this. That I think that much is true.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like you should already be stoked. Like, well done.
Wow. Now that's just condescending.
Yeah, it is a little bit. No, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe you could just try and piss off some Germans. I mean, who doesn't?
Oh, I'd love to
who
piss
doesn't
off
like
some
doing
Germans.
that? Yeah, that's just make it frustrating for them. And
It makes the fact that Sterling scored again even. Like, I wish someone else had scored.
so they could play. Yeah,
I wish someone else had scored, like Saka, because Bukayo Saka
he looked good.
had a fantastic game. You know, he's made 6 caps for England and received the man of the match in 3 of them.
What?
50-50.
Damn.
That's a 50-50.
That's good. That's really good.
And I want to see him. I want to see him start again.
Yeah.
I want to see Grealish start again. I don't want to see Sterling start because I think he was better in this game. Some of his movements, some of his like he was dragging players around, and then Saka was dragging players around, and Sterling got free of his man and easy header. Fine.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll see how he goes up against some of these big German dudes.
Yeah.
Because they've got their defensive, like, who's going to be up against? Maybe
Hummels, Rudiger. Rudiger has been throwing hands in this tournament. He is not afraid to
and throwing fangs.
fangs. Yeah, he's been well into it.
Yeah,
Or Sterling could go near him and then earn a penalty because
he loves a dive.
Because he loves a dive. That's absolutely it's not wrong, and I don't care. Raheem, you're not gonna be, but if you're listening, don't dive.
No. I mean,
or do.
If he wins the game, you'd be stoked with a 1-0 win off a Sterling dive.
Well, it would feel cheap and bitter.
But that's better. To do that to Germany, I think that would be hilarious.
I don't know. Fine. It would feel good.
Yeah.
In one part of me. And in the other part of me, I'd be sickened. But, yeah.
I don't know. If you're trying to do it honourably,
Do you think we stick with Kane?
Yeah, of course.
Would you stick with Kane?
Yes.
It's...
I think it doesn't matter.
Okay, that's possibly fair. We saw a spark in the Czech Republic game from Harry Kane, but just one.
Yeah.
And that's...
You're going to need him to take on... You need him to bully the defenders of Germany.
That's right. Even though he's in this form, he will still drag, Rudiger away.
And you need him in the box for defending.
Yeah.
From corners and stuff.
Yeah, because we've got centre mid Harry Kane, centre back Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Good to have Maguire back as well.
Yes. Well, again, he's another aerial threat.
Another Harry.
Yeah.
No, I can't say that I'm not worried, but there's a part of me that's optimistic. I just don't know how much credence to give that part of me.
Yeah, I don't trust this team at all. So.
Okay.
But I don't know. I think that there's a lot of new players in this team, and maybe they just haven't had enough time to all gel together.
Look, you've got to say that there are still positives in there. We didn't concede a goal. We didn't concede a goal.
That's true.
It seems like we might have figured out which fullback pairing we want to stick with. Rice and Phillips have certainly, done pretty well.
Well, there's no one else, so you got to kind of stick with that anyway.
The other option is Bellingham, and I think honestly, I'd rather go with Bellingham over the idea that a player can, what would you have rated Phillips out of 10 the first game? 8.5, 9,
I suppose.
whatever.
Good.
Very good.
Yeah.
I see no problem in dropping a player after that. You don't have to call it dropping. You just say it's rotation.
Yeah.
I want a more attacking player on the pitch. And Jude Bellingham, it doesn't have to be him. Could be. We've seen now 45 minutes from Henderson, and
yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah,
and
sure.
he was good.
I would definitely like to see Henderson and Calvin Phillips start. Personally.
Yeah, I think he's going to go with Rice.
Yeah.
I know. In fact, I know he's going to go with Rice.
Mm.
So it'll be Rice and Jordan Henderson, and that's what I want to see. That's what I want. That's what I want to see.
I guess so.
I feel like we'll need a bit more leadership in there for a big game like this. It's good that Maguire's back for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see.
Yeah.
That's all we can say.
Right. That's what you want to say on that.
I want to say a lot of things on that, but
we'll leave it at that.
We'll stick with that.
Yeah. Okay. So next I've got written down is Spain.
Lol. Just
well, okay. So I made sort of I don't know if I did this on recorded or in a private conversation, but I was sort of talking about Spain that I thought they'd be a lot more dangerous in the group stage because they're not conceding, they're holding the ball really well. Well, they are. They're not losing, and
yeah.
I think they're going to be really frustrating in a knockout game because they will just hold the ball like 80% of the time.
Yeah.
And if it goes out to extra time and penalties, they probably have the advantage because
the other team will have been chasing the ball.
Yeah, the whole time. So I think that was kind of what I was already going with. And then they just go around and win their last game 5-0.
Yeah.
And then it's like, now everyone's on the Spain train.
Yeah. Thanks to 2 more own goals. The real top scorer of this tournament. Thank you very much. What did you think of Dubravka's effort?
Oh, that was really bad. That was horrific. But I get that it's hard, but nah.
Yeah. Given that he'd saved multiple good shots and a penalty,
yeah,
then he sort of gave it like an under 9s rendition of a goalkeeper trying to clear it over his crossbar. It was piss poor.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
It was also hilarious. It was definitely the most clownish own goal yet, and there've been quite a number.
Yeah, it's crazy how many there's been. I think maybe players are actually going for it now too.
What, the best own goal?
Well, they're just trying to create own goals because like Mahrez has been doing that all season for Man City. He doesn't care. He's like, I think maybe a lot of sub strikers are like, but then I won't get the goal credited to me, so I don't want to do that. But
personally, I do feel that way. Even if I take a good shot,
you got to play for the team. Team victory is more important.
I mean, I agree. But when I score a goal and it deflects, I still kind of go cheap. Fucking shit.
No, I feel like if you score an own goal, it should be the attacker's goal. I don't believe in this that the own goal should be something that's recorded.
Not even in Dubravka's.
It should just be the last attacker to touch it. Just because, why not?
Yep.
And I feel like they do that in hockey. It's just as long as it goes in, because it's going to in hockey, ice hockey, it deflects everywhere anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just you might as well give it to someone. And because all these goals happen, they don't get recorded basically because I want to know these stats.
Yeah. Okay. What about in the instance of a really clownish one, when there's just a back pass and the keeper fails to control it? Well, I'll give it to you. If there's a shot, even if it's not going on target, and it cannons in off an ankle of a defender, give it to him. Fine.
Yeah, okay.
Because at least that's a shot.
Okay, I'm willing to make that compromise. That if it's super clownish own goal, it hasn't, the other team haven't touched it for a minute, it's an own goal.
Yeah.
But then anything else, if it's like an attacking opportunity that deflects in, it should be counted as your shot.
So is that a burden that we're taking upon ourselves for the rest of time in football? Is it the dubious own goals panel?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm also a fervent member of the last pass edition of. I want to keep that stat as well.
Oh, the assist.
Yeah, I'm on the committee for adding in the assist.
I like
I
it.
want it to be recorded because there are some players out there that are dominating that role.
That would stack up a lot.
Like if we had looked at David Silva's stats on that over like his time in the Premier League.
Yeah,
it
someone
would
like
have been
him.
monstrous.
Someone like Thiago.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
So-
a deeper lying playmakers.
Mm.
Like an attacking midfielder gets assists, a striker gets goals.
Yeah.
A deeper lying midfielder gets assists.
Yeah. I think it's just another stat like that. Why not? Why not record that?
We've got to come up with a better name for it though.
Yeah. Well, assist.
It sucks. Assist squared.
Or last pass, or I don't know.
Yeah. That's a bit confusing given that it's not.
I guess I'll have to look at what they'd call it in hockey.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so we were talking about Spain and the own goal calamity. And then we had Aymeric Laporte scoring his first goal for Spain.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, good on him. I feel like he's he's made his decision. He
Look,
wants to play for Spain, and it seems to suit him perfectly.
not my problem.
Yeah.
Like, I was just surprised. I don't care.
It was a plot twist, man.
Yeah, look, football needs more narrative.
Well,
Football needs more villains.
Well, I was like, damn, there's so many good French centre backs. Oh wait, he's not French now.
Yeah, he's gone. So ideally, if God is real, Spain plays France at some point in this tournament, and he wrecks them.
That'd be great.
Look, like I say,
Yeah,
more narrative,
Yeah, I love that.
more like WWE style narrative in football, please.
Yeah. And, so yeah, good on the boy. He seems to be settling into that role. Great. And then
Sarabia.
Sarabia too. Didn't look the best in some of the earlier games.
Fluffed
But he
at
started on.
least. Yeah, I think he started this one.
So subbing on is not quite the same as starting. You don't get the same kind of chance to. You don't get as many chances.
It's true.
But
And
then so he gets his first start and he seems to dominate and do quite well. Goal and assist, both very good.
yeah, and do we want to talk about the assist that he gave to Mr. Ferran Torres, who'd been on the pitch for 45 seconds?
Yeah, what a way to score with your first touch like that.
Dude, that was beautiful.
That's pretty tasty. That's what people dream of, like a goal like that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he's definitely a player who kind of flew under the radar for Man City this season, but he's good.
Oh yeah, he seems to be developing along nicely. It's just I suppose he's overshadowed by like Phil Foden and stuff like that,
Yeah,
Who-
that's a funny one.
who aren't quite doing as well.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I think a lot of people are probably on the Spain train now. If you pull off a 5-0 like that,
well, it's funny that in leading into that game, they desperately needed a win
Mm.
to come first, and if before the game you said they're definitely going to get it, you might be doubtful,
Hmm.
but
they do what they
they've
need to
punished that,
Mm.
and of course in the other game, Forsberg grabbed a couple of tasty little finishes, and they're going to go through second.
Oh yeah, right. Oh, that's good. Good team.
Yep.
Can't argue with.
You can't argue with Sweden, and funnily enough, Sweden will play Ukraine in the next game,
Yeah, so that's not so bad. That's quite good. It
and
means that-
if they win that, they play England again.
Oh really? Oh
So the team that we met in the quarterfinals 2 years ago,
yeah. Okay.
or or they'll play Germany.
Mm.
Well,
Well, true. They'll probably play Germany.
and finally the group of death. If you're happy with what I've said about Spain,
Yeah, I think we covered about all of it.
Yep.
Yeah, they look good.
Okay.
Yeah. So the last one's the group of death, obviously, which was pretty frantic on the last day with two all draws.
Two all draws. It's quite a
Mm.
tough thing to say, isn't it?
Yeah, and of course Ronaldo, being a beast now, finished 5 goals from the group stage.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
It's a good start, yeah. So, and I feel like I'm happy about this. I feel like I did make that call in an earlier podcast we recorded. So, who knows? Maybe he'll get top goal scorer, and I will be.
You'll be granted 1 gold star.
Yeah, I'll feel good. All right. Yeah, but I like our Portugal look. You know, that was a good chance for Renato Sanchez to get a run.
Oh,
And I think he looked
he's
pretty good.
he's amazing.
He's developing along good.
Well, he's 23. He's had quite a weird career.
Another player that just won Liga 1 as well. He plays for Lille, so
Yeah.
So he's just won a title. So
Yeah, it's quite a weird place for him to end up, and then he's just this like wonder kid.
yeah. So well, a lot of people say he might get a move.
Yeah, I almost certainly think he'll get a move.
Yeah, if he keeps doing that, and yeah. And of course, you know, all the other dudes, Ronaldo, obviously.
Well, do we want to talk about the penalty?
Oh, true. That first penalty when Lloris is making is a save, I guess, going for a punch and manages to punch
I think it's Danilo Pereira.
Yeah, Danilo in the head, and it ends up being a penalty. And I don't know how I feel about it. Like I feel like the goalkeeper's allowed to make a save, like allowed to try and challenge for the ball with their hands.
Not only that, Danilo heads it, and then Lloris fists it. I mean, it's in very quick succession.
But I mean,
but that constitutes a save, right?
I guess so. So I think the way they must see it as a late challenge. In that case.
I guess I can see it that way, but it's awfully harsh.
I think so. I think it's because, like I said, if he had like open palm, I feel like it might not have been a penalty.
Yeah,
just because it was a fist that it sort of put it over the line.
The only way I think I can begin to steel man that decision is because the arm of Lloris goes straight forward, so there's no sort of concerted effort in their mind to remove that danger from Pereira's head.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. His arm is kind of level with Pereira.
Yeah.
When, you know, normally when you're making a save like that, you're jumping up in the air and your arm is well above everybody.
Much above him. That's right.
So maybe that's the sort of the bad part on Lloris is that he's just a bit low. He sort of jumps from
far away.
Yeah.
It's still difficult. It's difficult for me to agree with that.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have given that.
I mean, he tucks it away nicely. It's a good goal. But even and then the first France penalty.
Yeah, Mbappe goes down pretty easy, eh? Yeah, but you know, we all know that he does that.
Yeah, every team has players who are gonna like look to milk a penalty.
Yeah,
and fair enough. I don't care.
Yeah,
but the referee should get that right. Be able to see it and just go, no, get up.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, that was another sort of subjective one. I'm not really sure about that.
Yeah,
hard to say.
The fact that I know I've praised VAR or how VAR has been used, but that felt like one that probably needed a bit more investigation.
Yeah, like that game. Both of those two were kind of not great, but other than that, it has been pretty good, I think.
Yeah, for the most part, the way it's been used, it's been, 30 seconds, in and out, we're checking it, no, not a goal, okay, cool, let's get on with it.
Yeah.
I don't want these 3-4 minute breaks.
No, who does?
Where all the momentum of the game is gone.
Yeah.
It's shit to watch. It's shit for the players.
Yeah, it's real shit. I'd rather not have it than have that. Yeah.
Absolutely. But let's go on to Benzema's second goal. The quality of the passes that these forwards are getting on both teams, France particularly, but both teams, unbelievable. Pogba bullets this one across, and you don't, I'll say it often, but you don't get much better than in off the post.
Yeah, Benzema just carving it up.
Yeah, past a keeper who's having a good game.
Yeah, post has the post, but can't get any closer than that, really. So
posting in, that's using the field to your own advantage.
Yeah.
To Karim Benzema,
absolutely.
The pitch is just another way to score a goal off of it.
Yeah, massive dick energy. I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so kind of cool that game ended a draw too, because I thought it was pretty even.
Well, not being able to watch it, I was watching the scores update on my phone, and given that the Germany-Hungary game was happening at the same time, the team that we were due to play changed, I think, 4 or 5 times during the 90.
Yeah.
And God, I was like, Hungary's in the lead. No, Germany have drawn back. No, Portugal's in front. No, France are level. No, France are in front. I was going spare.
Oh, I wouldn't have mattered.
Do you think England would beat Hungary?
I don't know.
Don't pause like that. Because I don't know either.
Yeah. So I feel like, this is the way football works. They wanted all 3 of those teams to get through. So
are you calling a fix?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay, cool.
I'm just saying that's what's happened. But that's cool. We're going to see some more big teams slaughter smaller teams. I mean, aside from the fact that Portugal will play Belgium.
That's the round. That's the game of the round, surely.
Oh, absolutely. That's the real test for both those teams. Yeah, that's going to be brutal. Like, I can't wait for that. Seeing Lukaku come up against those guys and Ronaldo, of course, doing their thing. And
yeah, it's not like Portugal or Belgium have an easy road from here. They would go. So that game would play the winner of Italy, Austria.
Yep. So to play Italy, probably
would play the winner of France, Switzerland, Croatia, or Spain. So you might say France out of that. So a rematch, semi-final rematch, and then in the final, someone from the other side of the bracket, possibly Germany.
Well, that's how good you have to be.
Yeah.
Beat all these guys. And yeah, it's kind of a shame that one of them's going to go out at this point because both of them look like strong contenders.
That's right.
I don't know who I want to go through either. It's tough. I like both teams.
I think, in terms of who I'd like, I think I'd probably like to see Belgium. See if
it actually works for once.
We've seen Portugal win
they
one.
won it last
We've
time.
seen Portugal win one.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see Belgium.
I suppose you're right.
Go far.
Hopefully then Ronaldo still scores and
breaks the record.
Gets top goal scorer with 6.
Well, top goal scorer with 6 in this tournament and leading international goal scorer of all time.
Yeah, that would be great to see. I'd love that.
Even if Portugal...
I'd see it for that.
2-1 Belgium with Ronaldo scoring, probably a penalty.
Yep, heard it here first.
I'm sure there are loads of people picking Belgium to win.
Yeah. So that's probably the big match there. France, of course, drew Switzerland, which, obviously France is a favourite here. Switzerland have got some tricks. The Swiss Army knife has got many different features to it. So
I think France played Switzerland in the World Cup, and I think they dispatched them pretty easily.
Yeah, you'd think so. France are really good.
Yeah,
they have some serious players in that team.
Yeah, Switzerland look good.
We need to see some Mbappe action.
Yeah, he hasn't scored yet, has he?
He hasn't scored, but he has still looked dangerous.
He's been up there. He's been all about it.
Running lines.
Oh,
fast as. Kid's lightning.
Kid is lightning.
Yeah.
He had some good opportunities of himself, and Patricio denied him. Cool.
Yeah, well, okay, so that pretty much covers everything we got written down. Is there anything else you want to talk about, or?
Do we want to maybe do a couple of these predictions
Of what?
Predict the games.
So just the ones we didn't mention, or
Yeah, sure.
because I suppose we sort of hinted at like as we went through, like Italy over Austria, Denmark, or Denmark over Wales, or
That's what I think will
yeah, I
happen.
think
Yeah.
so too. Denmark over Wales, Netherlands over Czech Republic, Germany over England. Um, I still want to say Spain over Croatia.
I think Spain, honestly, will probably beat Croatia, but pretty handily. Their Croatia looked tired by the end of the England game, and I think 80 minutes of chasing the ball.
So long as they drop Morata, I think I think maybe Gerard Moreno striker and then play Adama Traore on the right wing. You'll love it.
Yeah, I agree. They can't stick with Morata. He's so
He's
low.
a 4 out of 10 in a 5-0 win.
He's so low in confidence that it must be difficult to, if you start him, that's his last chance. You can't keep going.
His form works in reverse. Like he's good when he hasn't played in a while, and you bring him on, and then he slowly gets worse and worse until you stop playing.
Goodness, name another player like that.
Oh.
And then we've got Sweden, Ukraine.
That's probably Sweden.
It's probably a tough one. You'd probably say Sweden.
Oh, Forsberg runs that shit.
Looked more like an offensive threat.
Yeah. I would say Sweden.
Cool. So that's pretty much all of those out of the way.
All covered. Yeah, good.
Cool. So did you have a particular player you enjoyed watching from the group stage?
Oh, put me on the spot. Lukaku, man.
Okay.
Lukaku was just tearing it up, and Ronaldo, of course. I loved it when everyone was giving Ronaldo shit in the loss to Germany, like, all this showboating, what a dick.
It's Ronaldo.
And then he finishes the group stage with 5 goals, and it's like, yeah, maybe that he does that for a reason.
He's not done yet either.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to pick out Pedri.
Oh, totally.
Pedri of Spain.
He just stepped into that role and he did the same like he did at Barcelona. He just stepped in like it's nothing, playing. That's how good he is now. How good's he going to be in a couple of years?
In the next tournament, when Spain don't qualify.
Unai Simon as well for Spain.
Yeah, the goalkeeper.
He's always making a crazy save.
And Forsberg. Again, he's the reason that I pick Sweden.
Yep. And Robin Gosens.
Yeah, of Germany, yeah.
Fuck,
definitely.
Man, he was amazing.
Robin Olsen of Sweden.
Yeah. And yeah, we've already mentioned a few. Genie Wijnaldum. I can't.
Yep.
Can't say.
Big Schick.
He's been awesome. Yeah. Oh, Patrick Schick. I hope someone maybe takes a look at him, signs him up, and he can score some more
bangers from halfway.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. All right. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah. All right. We'll end it there then. So
sweet as.
So like and subscribe, do all that stuff, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Tip my OnlyFans. Shout out.